What was meant to corner the Clintons could now circle back to President Donald Trump. As former President Bill Clinton testifies before the House Oversight Committee in the Jeffrey Epstein probe, Republicans may be setting a precedent that could dramatically backfire. Hillary Clinton has already endured more than 6 hours of closed-door questioning, insisting she had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes and never traveled on his plane or visited his properties.
Well, I have just finished testifying. I answered every one of their questions as fully as I could, based on what I knew, and what I knew is what I said in my statement this morning. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance, but whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing, so I wouldn't have to be out here characterizing it for you. You could have seen it for yourself. We had asked for that. We think it would have been better for the committee and its efforts to gather whatever information they are seeking. We had a bit of a challenge in the beginning because we had agreed upon rules based on the fact it was going to be a closed hearing at their demand, and one of the members violated that rule, which was very upsetting because it suggested that they might violate other of our agreements. So we had to cease the hearing for a period of time until we could get assurances that no rules would be broken going forward, and we returned to answer questions repetitively, literally over and over again. I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times.
Neither Bill Clinton nor Donald Trump has been accused of criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein, but both men were acquainted with him. Both are mentioned multiple times in Justice Department files. And now, Democrats say the standard Republicans have created must apply equally. If a former president can be compelled to testify because their names appear in Epstein-related documents, why not Trump? That's the question gaining traction. Representative Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, says the GOP has opened the door wider than it may realize. By hauling in not just a former president, but also a former First Lady and asking her about her husband's relationship with Epstein, Republicans have established what Garcia calls a new precedent. Now, he argues, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump should also testify under oath. Garcia says if this is a serious investigation, it cannot pick and choose who appears before the committee. He is calling for subpoenas not only for Trump, but also for other high-profile figures whose names surfaced in Epstein files. The political risk for Trump is significant. Trump earlier fought a congressional subpoena related to the January 6, 2021 investigation, launching a constitutional battle before it was withdrawn. History shows presidents can be compelled to testify. Bill Clinton himself nearly lost his presidency over sworn testimony in 1998. Now the spotlight is returning. Democrats are already signaling that if they win back the House majority, scrutiny will intensify. The cycle of political retribution that dominates Washington suggests this fight is far from over. In trying to spotlight the Clintons, Republicans may have reignited national intrigue around Epstein and placed Trump uncomfortably closer to the center of it. The precedent is set, and the question now is whether it will stop with the Clintons or reach the White House next.
At the end, quite unusual because I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me. So I can only say that the best exchange that I had came at the very end, when, contrary to every other deposition they have taken, no Republican member asked any questions about Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell to anyone else they have deposed. And in fact, the Republican members didn't even show up for the deposition of Les Wexner. I had to point out that the only questions that any Republican member asked of any of the people they deposed was of former Attorney General Bill Barr, when Chairman Comer asked him about the allegations, in his view, about Russia's involvement in my election in 2016. So at the very end of this hearing, after I made that point, I want to commend Chairman Comer for raising a series of significant questions that I responded to about the nature of the investigation and the areas that I thought should be explored. So I appreciated that. I want to see the truth come out. So that was a reassuring way to end a very long, repetitive deposition. I think the chronology of the connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light, and that he was charged and sadly given a sweetheart deal, which, as I said in my statement, had that not happened, perhaps his predatory behavior could have been stopped earlier. But I think it is fair to say that the vast majority of people who had contact with him before his criminal pleas in 2008 were like most people. They did not know what he was doing. And I think that that is exactly what my husband will testify to tomorrow. They had a chance to do it in public, and I wish they had done it in public. And I think they're making the wrong decision, avoiding doing it in public. I thought it was very repetitive. I thought that they asked literally the same questions over and over again, which didn't seem to me to be very productive. And then, as I said, toward the end, there were other questions that were totally off subject. So if they are going to fulfill their responsibilities to literally investigate the investigations, which is what they originally said was the scope of their work, I think they could have spent the day more productively. I don't know when the video will be out. I don't know when the transcript will be out. We've asked that they be out as quickly as possible, and then you can see everything. Thank you.